Just one little second on the refereeing. The reason we do send it out is in case we miss things. I don't know if you were here a little earlier where I said ones we know we don't want to publish, don't work, we will set aside and write to them nicely. Those that we're unsure of, we will send forward to referee because we're not always quite sure why we're unsure. And then those that we have complete confidence in, we send forward anyway in case. And it's out of respect to the author, actually. It's a different view. I'm not saying any view is right, but out of respect to the author, we send it to the two referees because they might see something that we haven't seen.
It's true, but you know, the philosophy of reviewing for books and for journals, I'm speaking from somebody who's been on the receiving end and reading it. You get the same article or the same book reviewed by different people. You mentioned an example. It happens all the time. You know, any of the many things that are published would not have been published if they were going by one reviewer, but they went with other reviewers and they were published and they were successful. They could have never seen the light. If some other people had the say. So, you know, if we are just humble enough to remember that, we may miss something, so what? Anybody and everybody will miss and change.
Yes, just that.
And there is never a perfect form.
No, I don't think there is. And I accept that other people do differently. But I think there is, first of all, if we have a reviewer who comes back in a very negative way, that surprises, shocks us, because there are at least 3 of us who've read it before we've even sent it anywhere, we would contest that. So we go the other way. The other thing is that we're quite mindful of, it's a process I actually loathe, called the research assessment exercise. I think it's one of the worst things that happened to the UK, and it has been quite damaging to small publishing companies in the end, because some have gone to the wall as a result of this game. But it's a game we have to play, and I suppose because we were the first film, I don't know if we certainly weren't the first journal in select, but we were the first film journal. I wanted Nasud to be able to have complete trust in the product that we were putting forward, being so watertight on that regard that if people disagree with what was being written, fine, but at least there would be a well-honed argument there that was substantiated by having had quite a number of people read it, and including 2 referees. So that's part of our ethos. I don't think it has to be part of everybody's ethos. I think Valerie is an excellent, I know her work, an excellent academic, and you know, that doesn't necessarily surprise me, but I don't necessarily find fault with that system. It's not a system I would be comfortable with myself, that's all. But I do take your point, we are a little bit OTT, but only our politicians are the same.
I want to check on the half minute, I missed the introduction that I gave, unfortunately. And all I was saying was that unfortunately we have to strike a balance. Balance is the key word. If you go over the top in things which are correct, but nevertheless, if you take risks beyond a certain level, then unfortunately we lose some of the things that we have worked so hard in getting that. Media studies has a bad name. All you've got to do is have the Daily Telegraph and all that community to campaign against. We've championed so hard in establishing rigor, and we are very flexible. We are willing to go as far as we can go, but at the same time we're very nervous about just going one step too far. All you've got to do is have one bad apple and the whole cart is affected. All you've got to do is have one article which then is made fun of by the community, which is against us completely, and then we will. In Daily Telecom, I'm saying this is a community which there's a very strong anti-media studies. There's a very
not just media studies,
not just media studies, but the whole issue of arts, taking art seriously. If you work in an arts college, as I have done as an administrator, you know the amount of pressure that the physicists and electrical engineers have in saying, well, we don't want to fund this faculty in the same way as we fund physics and chemistry and medicine. And we don't want to be the ones that get closed down under the cuts. So we've got to take risks, but take calculated risks. Less about it refereeing, but not too far, so much so that a bad egg gets through.
I just wanted to put another picture.
Very much really. I mean, if you look at my blog, for example, that we've had a discussion about refereeing. The refereeing itself is a biased process. It's always biased in favour of the established point of view. And if you look in my blog, the late Randall Alvarado, who is one of our advisors, advocates that intellectual rigor cannot come through refereeing. You've got to free, you have to free from the shackle of refereeing in order to achieve intellectual height, because it prunes at the top and prunes at the bottom. But unfortunately, we've got to prune at the top and the bottom in order to establish a balance in that. And intellect is committed to pushing the boundaries as high as possible, but not taking risks which the whole thing would have. It is the same with our finances. Intellect has been going for over 20 years, 23 years now, and we've been very careful not to take risks, because if you take risks, then all you've achieved gets down the tube with a recession. Like Britain, like other publishing companies I don't want to name, but we've been discussing, which have put so much effort in establishing a list, which now they're letting all their authors down. We don't want to do that. We were very careful about our early publications, where we had the editors doing the job which they shouldn't be doing, of establishing subscriptions, etc., because we will make sure that you make a decision. And the commitment we make to all of you is, and this I should have mentioned, is that we will publish these journals even if nobody wants to read them. Because our commitment is to the authorship and not to the readership. Our commitment is to establish a journal. I remember Frank from Studies, and doing Tracy, had 7 subscribers in the first year, and the editor came to me and said, well, I'm sure you're going to close it now, aren't you? I said, no way. It's one of our successful journals now. It's growing exponentially. Because nobody else wanted to do it, but we wanted to do it. So our commitment is to the authorship. If you want to have a voice, if you want to publish, we are there to publish you, irrespective of that, and we do our very best to manage the finances. But we don't take risks. If it's too risky, we will say and I think it's unfortunately one that you're absolutely right. There are extreme points of view. Extreme success can come with extreme risk. But in the context of intellect, we cannot afford it.
Yes, and I do